Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be playing with some of Holika Holika's makeup. There's not many, there's only 3 items here and 2 of them are actually lip products. Already tried this one out already, I've just put them back into the packaging. I will do an insert clip later on and kind of tell you how I feel about this one. Spoiler alert, I kind of like it actually as like a tint kind of thing. Specifically today, I will actually use both of this product on my face. I don't know if these two are the same thing, but I kind of think they're the same thing. This one, the red one, is in collaboration with Peko. I have no idea who Peko is. I'm sure it's one of the anime characters or cartoon characters that people love. I believe they are pretty much the same thing as like a tint. It's genius. It's if you have actually tried like the water kind of tint in bottles, and they're usually very liquidy. And it feels exactly like that and it looks exactly like that, except that it is in like a stick balm kind of form. I mean, it's not moisturizing in any way. It's, to be honest, not even a balm. Not even close to a balm. It's in a stick form, the tint. And when you apply it, it just glides on your lips and the color just comes out so prettily and pigmented as a tint. It's just very gorgeous overall. It's in a pretty much like a water droplet shape, and I think that is genius because you have the sharp end, you have the fat side end. So anyway, we're gonna start off with the eyes first. This eye palette is called the Holika Holika Piece Matching Shadow Palette. This is in 01 Red Velvet. The shade is gorgeous. It's very everyday. It's very easy to use. I think people who like just want to start off with makeup, this is definitely one of the palettes that you should have. People who are pretty much like a very neutral tone kind of person, only love like brown, reds, this is definitely one of the palettes for you. Really nice to travel with if you're not very creative with your eye look, basically. Pretty much like me. I only do the same thing. I don't really do too much with my eyes. I generally just like to keep it very simple, easy, and as natural as possible. That's pretty much my vibe. Get started with the eyes. Someone basic like me, of course, we do not prime our lids. Flat fluffy brush in a way. Pretty much the only clean brush that I have left. Take the lighter shade here, lightly dust it all over my eyes. I guess it has a little bit of kickback, but it's not as bad as some other shadows that I've used before. The shimmer ones like this one specifically and the darker one doesn't give you too much of a kickback. When I say all over, all over. Okay, so that's the base. Take the red, like a burnt red shade here. I love the shade. I don't know what color is this. I don't know how to like explain to you this color, but it's gorgeous. And I usually really like this kind of color on my lids. It's so my type. Start from the outside basically. So from the outside, just dust it in. I concentrate the colors on the outer corner of my eyes. The same thing, just do this eye first, outside, and then drag it in. Take just a tiny little bit, okay, and try to blend it on the lower lids, just the outer corner of the lower lids, that's all. And then just take the same tiny little bit and blend the outer corner of the lower lids. Gonna intensify a little bit just by tapping it on the outer corners. Intensify the lower lids as well. And then what I like to do is usually just take a little bit on the inner corner as well. Just that's the eyes. And then after that, I'm gonna use a really thin angle brush just for the brown shade. Just makes a little bit of difference. You probably can't tell on camera, I don't know. It just makes a little bit of difference, okay? I just like to do that just to kind of enhance my eye shape a little bit because I generally don't use eyeliner. So this is a great trick if you're lazy to put on eyeliner. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. I want to keep it very natural and it just makes it the slightest of difference, and I really like this kind of effect. So that's why I really usually like to line my eyes with shadows specifically. Makes it more natural looking lah. So next up, I think what I'm going to do is that with the shimmer shade here, you can of course always use a brush if you want to, but I'm just going to use my fingers to kind of dab it all over the lower lid of my eyes, okay? This shimmer shade is actually quite pigmented. It's not one of those that is very like loose in pigments. Some of the shimmer shades are very glittery or very pretty on the pan itself, like very concentrated, maybe this color, but then when you apply it on, it just looks like very sheer type of just a topper kind of thing. But this one, no. So if you choose to just use this one on its own, like just all over lids kind of thing, you can also do that because this is very pigmented and you can get away with just doing this alone without looking like, oh, you just applied a bunch of glitter on your lids basically. So it will help you to look like, oh, at least you put in somewhat of effort into your like eye look. It just looks more complete rather than just a bunch of loose glitters on your lids basically. Start with the middle first, of course, and then just work it out back and forth. Ta-da! Oh, so pretty. Glitter or shimmer just makes everything so different. Like this look just completely entirely changed the look. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Focus on the center first and then you work it outwards. Feel like you wanna drag more like crease shadow, you can actually do that. Just make sure you kind of clean your brush as much as possible on your hands. This is what I do basically to clean my brush. I will take this shade and try to drag on top if you want more shade on top there. I personally don't really like to do that because it just makes me look like I have a lot of eyeshadows on, but sure, why not? For YouTube, it's fine. Although I'm actually going out today. Hermit me finally going out on Christmas Eve. Wonderful. I want to take a little bit of this shimmer shade and just apply underneath my eyes as well because I do love a good shimmer underneath my eyes. The only thing that is missing with this is that very bright highlight. I mean, if that really bothers you, it's just that I generally like to do that to kind of highlight my inner corner of the eyes, which I personally like to do that. I'm gonna use the same freaking brush. The lesser the brush, the better. I'm gonna take this lightest shade. This is the Lakme Absolute Highlight, just to kind of... Does it do anything? I don't think so. Now, let me get something else. Okay, but this one has a little bit of pink tone to it though. This is the Physician Formula one. Probably can't tell the difference, but it does give a little bit of a highlight. Don't think you can tell, but it just gives you a little bit of that pop on the inner corner of the eyes, which is what you want to do to kind of highlight the eyes, give the eyes a little bit more dimension specifically. Personally, I really like this Holika Holika Piece Matching Shadow Palette, specifically this shade. It's just gorgeous. I will definitely keep this. It's something that I will definitely travel with for sure. Good quality shadow, and it's actually quite pigmented for a Korean eyeshadow, and I quite like it. A little bit of mascara goes a long way, guys. This is the Water Drop Tint Balm by Holika and Holika. It is in 07 Plump water. It is such an amazing concept where you get a tint in a freaking stick form basically. It might look like it's a little bit patchy on here, but actually the way you apply it is to dab it first and then only you swipe it on your lips. That's how I get it to look very nice and diffuse, and this is the type of like look that I like to go for. Again, it's more of a diffuse edge, not too sharp kind of edges, like not too precise, not too clean cut. It dries really quickly and it lasts pretty long because it's a tint. The only downside to this is that it is a little bit drying. So like most tint, if you've tried tint before, like liquid tint in a bottle, the OG tint basically, those tints are a little bit drying. So this one, it's very similar to that. So what I usually like to do is to apply like a lip balm on top or a lip gloss, a clear lip gloss on top, just to kind of moisturize the lips. Try to take a little bit here because I don't want to overpower it. I don't want to, if it doesn't work, I don't want to overpower my cheeks with this one and then not being able to remove, and I have to like keep reapplying my foundation after that. Apply a little bit more on my hands. Maybe this pink will work. I don't know. Let me just blend it out and see. Apply a little bit on the cheekbones just to give it a little bit of a different dimension, like how the Charlotte Tilbury kind of a pop of color, a pop of different color on the cheeks. So it kind of works as a blusher too, but it's a little bit too much of a work lah, okay? Personally, I really do like this water drop. If you are the person who loves the OG tint, liquid tint in the liquid bottle kind of thing, you will definitely enjoy this so much more than me, because this is really such a convenience as compared to liquid tint, and plus it gives you a little bit more control as compared to the tint in a liquid form. That's such a great invention and it's just genius basically. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Don't forget to like and subscribe!